Well, hello there. Look, I am so excited that you have made the decision to join me on this epic journey, a first love reset for 40 days. It's going to be amazing. I believe that God will do exceedingly and abundantly more than we can even ask, think, or imagine. And I hope you will spread the word and have family and friends that will join as well. You know, this is an interesting time and season, and I believe it's the perfect time for a first love reset. It was about a year ago, I was really drawn and attracted to a study on the church of Ephesus. I don't know how I got there, but when I arrived, I was just drawn to their story. Perhaps it was because this church was known for their excellence. And I love the spirit of excellence. When you just do things right, I love that. And I will celebrate your excellence. Well, anyway, the church of Ephesus, they had their theology on point, and it was even written that they knew how to persevere through adversity, and they weren't even growing weary in that. So there were so many things that they were doing right. But imagine that the God of all flesh is aware of all of the great things that you've done, smiles at them, and yet he says, there's one thing that I take issue with. Can you imagine the one thing? High performing church, one thing. And that one thing was that they had departed their first works. He said, you're not loving me or each other the way you did at first. Hence, first works reset. Now, when I think about first works reset, I think about all of us going back to that moment. We all have this moment. That moment is that time when you knew that God was real. And it wasn't coming because grandma had talked about how real he was in her life, or mom and dad talked about the realness of God in their life, or even the pastor preaching a message. Not even a testimony of God's greatness. It was that moment when you experienced for yourself the love of God that was so real and so impactful that you would never be the same. How old were you? For me, I was 15 years old. We should never, ever lose the memory of that moment. And as we go back to our first works, loving God with all of our heart, our mind, and our strength, and loving each other and loving ourselves, I believe that's a return to the basics. And you know what? There is nothing in life where if you depart from the basics, you win the game. It's not always about getting something new in advance. It's about how brilliant are you in the basics. And that's what this first love reset is about. It's about being intentional in realigning and strengthening our love walk, loving the Lord our God, loving each other, and loving ourselves. Now, perhaps you're even saying, well, I think I've been doing that already. Wonderful. Because there's always room for elevation and higher levels. And I believe that the first love reset will even uncover that for you. So what is it that this first love reset will be about? It's about the basics. We'll be praying. Yes, we'll be praying. We'll also be taking communion. We'll be fasting, random acts of kindness. But let me just take a moment here to say, this is not just about works and tactics and, oh, let me pray 4 times a day. Let me take communion twice a week. Let me do it. This is about the intent of the heart. And I believe that this realignment and this first love reset is about doing it with fun and ease. For the yoke is easy and the burdens are light. So yes, you will choose the fast. It could be a Daniel fast. It could be a partial fast. It could be a fasting of activities like social media or sports or whatever would be a real sacrifice for you. It could be about fasting between a certain hour and a certain time. You will make that decision with the instruction of the Holy Spirit. Now, for the communion, I'll be taking communion daily, but you will also make that decision as to how often you'll make that commitment to take communion and be reminded of what happened on the cross. Also, there's some important information about communion and about fasting. I hope you'll read it. It's just, again, a revisitation of the basics. I also have listed 25 acts of kindness, random acts of kindness. But once again, you'll be instructed by the Holy Spirit. These are just ideas. You may be inspired by these ideas. You may have some ideas that aren't listed. But your relationship with God will reveal to you what may need to be done at the moment that none of us understand, because it's really in that personal relationship where God is speaking to you. This will be an exciting time. Yes, I believe that there will be miracles and signs and wonders and breakthrough. I hope you will share them, because I know that that will happen. But I also believe that there's another side to this 40-day first love reset. And it came to me by way of example. You know, just the other day, I had an event at 8 o'clock, but you know what? That clock was set for hours ahead of 8 o'clock. Who sets an alarm at the time you're supposed to be at the event, right? You set the alarm to give you time for preparation. I believe the 40-day reset is also an alarm, a preparation. Now, I have no idea what the specifics of the preparation would be, because even if I were prophesied, I prophesy in part, because even the greatest of prophets only know part. God knows all. And so I'm saying that this 40-day first love reset is preparation for anything to come. You know, if a storm came, that's not the time to prepare for the storm. And I'm not suggesting that that's what this is about, a storm coming. I'm suggesting that whatever a first love reset will have us in perfect preparation for whatever. I also believe that this will be perfect preparation for the elevation and the completion and all of the wonderful things that God is doing in 2023. So I hope you'll spread the word, and there's a contact link that you can give to family and friends. I want to also let you know that you'll be getting other emails. We'll be doing pop-up praise. Now, I still need to understand what that's about. God will give it to me. I'll also be doing what I call Loving Out Loud, and those will be interviews with some amazing kingdom individuals. So stay tuned, pass the word, and get ready, get ready, get ready. I'm saying it a lot slower than Bishop Jakes, but I mean the intensity of that. Get ready, get ready, get ready, because it's going to be awesome. So, First Love Reset starts January 2nd. We'll go for 40 days. More information is coming. Spread the word and get ready, because God's about to do something amazing. And he's already done so many amazing things. I can't imagine what's going to happen when we set our attentions to love him the way we should. All right, so take care. First Love Reset, it's on. Bye-bye.